good ski photos aren't actually about skiing. They're about your light, exposure, communication, and the person you're shooting with. So let's get into it. These are the 5 things that I find extremely helpful when you're out shooting ski photos. This is without a doubt the most important thing to take into consideration when you're out shooting. When you're out shooting ski photos, you're going to be relying completely on the sun, generally, unless you're on like some big Hollywood production with a bunch of lights, but chances are it's just you, the camera, and the sun. So time of day is going to be a big consideration when you're out shooting. Where is the sun going to be in the sky for that shot? Especially with the mountains covered in snow, reflecting the light everywhere can be a little bit of a challenge to get that perfect light. Generally speaking, I'll usually keep the subject in between myself and the sun. A lot of times, the backlit photo will look a lot better than shooting with your back towards the sun. I'd say probably 9 times out of 10, this setup just makes for more interesting lighting in your photos. You can bring so much detail out of your shadows if you're shooting raw. But if you overexpose and blow out the sky, blow out the snow, that photo is useless. You're just not going to have any detail, it's going to look flat, and there's no saving it. So when you're out shooting, always make sure you can still see the detail in the sky and on the snow. If you do that, no matter how dark your shadows are, generally you can bring them up. And chances are, when you're shooting the snow, it's bouncing the light everywhere, everything's generally pretty bright. Just expose for your highlights. It will make your life so much easier when you get to editing those photos. It's not like all of us have an endless line of pro skiers to go shoot. It's quite easy to find some very skilled, talented skiers that you can get out with and go take photos with. If you're skiing with a mediocre skier, chances are your photos are going to be pretty mediocre. The stronger the skier, the more options it opens up for doing different tricks, hitting different features, skiing different lines that would simply not be an option if you're skiing with someone who can't ski those lines. Take that into consideration next time you're going out to shoot on the hill. So this is a bit of a 2-for-1. You want to be familiar with the ski hill, and you want to be familiar with how the people that you're shooting ski. I've run into this issue quite a few times this year. We get the perfect shot lined up, trying to communicate with the skier above me where to go. The more familiar you are with the skier, you'll be able to better communicate exactly where you want them to go. There's been so many shots that I've personally missed this year, because you're telling the skier to go around that tree, go to the right of that tree, go to the left of that tree. There's a lot of trees out there. Once you figure out a good way to communicate with the skier and get familiar with each other, it's going to make your shots turn out more often than not. If possible, try to get out with the same skier more frequently so that you can figure out the best way to communicate together. You also want to be familiar with the resort. Where's the light going to be? What direction is the light coming from? Where are some cool places to go and take some photos when the light is cooperating? So when you know the time of day that the light is going to be hitting perfectly, you can make sure you're there and ready for the shot. Much like this photo. It's just out skiing, happened to see the light hitting these 2 ridges perfectly, and figured it would be a pretty rad shot to get one skier on each of the ridge lines, come down, throw in some snow while the sun was exactly where it was. Planned it out, got the 2 skiers to get across to the ridge line, went down to the spot, and this is where the next step comes in. Radios are such a useful tool when you're trying to get shots like this, or realistically any shots. So like I said, speed is going to make photos look so much better when you're skiing. If the person's standing above you, like a good ways up, it's just so painful to be yelling and not being able to hear the person. So if you have a radio, it makes it extremely easy to communicate with that person standing 100, 200 meters above you, telling them where to go, that you're ready to go, and it's just going to make the shooting so much easier. So get yourself some cheap radios. Realistically, anything's going to work, to make sure you always have communication with your subjects. Next time you're out there, the number one thing you can do is consider your light. Other than that, get out there, practice, play around, have fun with it, go get some sick shots.